now. This week's extra one-on-one in 10 with Māori political legend Hone Harawira on his decision not to run in Te Tai Tokerau, why this government must be a one-term, and what is the current state of Māori politics. Kia ora, comrade. Welcome to the show, and thank you for being available to the Fourth Estate. Your democracy is grateful. Oh, I think he's mic'd. Oh, no, he's on mute. I think you're on mute. You're on mute. There we go.
I am. My apologies. My apologies, everybody. I'm surprised Barbara Edmonds allowed herself to get caught up with a red bag like you know.
Honey, why have you broken all our hearts and decided not to run for Te Pāti Māori and Te Tai Tokerau? Why have you done it?
You know, when Mariameno stepped down and me too, she chosen her own path.
Yep.
I decided instantly we can't let this die. We've got to do something. So I went to media and sparked things up a bit, and then went on a Tai Tokerau roadshow just to get everybody interested again, and everybody was really, really interested. But I said all the way along that journey that going to Parliament isn't the be all and end all for me. That I have whānau commitments, I have work commitments, I have issues in and around home here that are really important to me, and I couldn't commit to it until such time as I'd settled all of that with Hilda and other members of my whānau and close friends.
Yep.
And in the end, along with the fact that a really good guy was standing, Apirahama, had put his name forward, Apirahama Edwards, and I had a chat to him. I says, "Are you up for this, bro? You know, do you really want to do this? You know how tough this is going to be?" He said he's up for it. I said, "Mate, I'll back you all the way." So, yeah, I know that there was a lot of expectation out there, but that was my job, really. Was to lift the game again.
You're too humble. You're too goddamn humble. That's why we need you in Parliament, damn it. Honey,
humility is not one of my greatest traits.
Honey, I've covered politics for over 30 years in New Zealand, and this is one of the most anti-Māori, anti-treaty, anti-environment, anti-disabled, anti-worker, anti-renter, and anti-environment government I've ever witnessed. Why do you believe it's essential that this is a one-term government?
I heard you say it's one of the worst. Well, in my reading of parliaments and governments over the decades, all the way back to when we first started them here, this is the actual worst for Māori.
I'll give you that.
There has not been another government that has been so destructive of things Māori, particularly given that the last 50 years have been a renaissance and slowly rebuilding the language, rebuilding the kura, rebuilding the land assets, and contributing now billions and hundreds of billions of dollars back into the New Zealand economy, only and to provide that kind of vision and face and support for New Zealand businesses of all kinds all over the world, and for New Zealand businesses to say, the thing that sets us apart when we go overseas is our connection to Māori culture. Globally hot, locally not. Our government has gone out of its way, this government like no other, to destroy the language, to destroy the treaty, to destroy our land rights, to destroy our rights to our forests, our fisheries, and our very environment. So I hear you picking up on those issues around the environment. It's the reason why we have to make this a one-term government. And I'll say this, another thing about it. My greatest concern about allowing these guys to go back in is all of the damage that they have done to Māori in these 3 years. If they get another 3 years, they will have the opportunity to embed that in legislation. And children who are young now, by the time they are of voting age, all of the positive things, all of the gains, all of the relationships that we have built up with non-Māori up and down the country, most visibly noticed on the hikoi, the Toi Te Tiriti, for example, I was absolutely astounded to get to Wellington and to march from start to finish and realize a good 35 to 40% of the hikoi were non-Māori.
Yeah.
And so I know it's the right thing to do for the nation to hold fast to kaupapa Māori, to hold fast to those rights guaranteed. Because what's good for Māori is good for the whole of Aotearoa.
Right.
And if we can use the treaty to keep the land, if we can use that treaty to keep the land clean,
yes,
to keep our waters clean,
yes,
then those are a benefit to all of us.
Exactly.
And this government, because they would embed it over the next 3 years, we must stop them now.
1 million. 1 million in donations. 1 million in donations have come from companies with fast track projects, and Mike Smith has exposed the way the 7 big polluters got what they wanted in legislation. Has New Zealand politics become a place where the rich buy their own rules?
Mate, when National got in and gave $3 billion to landlords and then said, oh, well, they're gonna lower the rents for everybody. Oh, what? I don't suppose anybody in our part of town actually believed that. That was just a, thanks, guys. Thanks for putting us in, and we told you we'd give it to you. Here's $3 billion. Go and do what you want with it.
Right.
Hey, and they did exactly what they wanted with it, and not a penny of it dropped down to reduce rents at all. So that's exactly what this government is focused on.
Yeah.
Taking from the poor through the cuts in social welfare. And I hear you talking about AI. Well, you know, I know he's a comedian, but that Scottish guy, Kevin Bridges.
Yes.
He's got this excellent skit on the economy and how a guy, you know, really, his body's so broken and so bashed up and can hardly move. And he said, yeah, well, there'll be a farmer out there, you know, would want to hire you as a scarecrow. You know, it's that dopey. I've seen in Kaikoai, when I was in Parliament, a guy who'd been really hurt in the forestry.
Yeah.
Could hardly do anything.
Yeah. And
when they did an assessment of him, they said, well, yeah, there is a job that you could be doing, and that's a car park attendant. Now, car park attendant in Kaikoai, for God's sake, ain't any job. And then when said to him, but there's plenty of those jobs in Auckland. Go to Auckland. How ridiculous is that kind of thinking? And that's the kind of thinking that underpins this whole theory that social services can be flicked off to AI while we pay taxes so they can go to keep supporting the rich.
Are we seeing...
And at the end of the day, when I hear talk about finances, really simple. Tax the rich bastards to feed the poor. Tax the rich to feed the poor.
Preach.
Tax the rich to feed the poor.
That's why we got you on the show. Are we seeing a splintering of pan-Māori solidarity? Mariameno has set up her own party. Doc will stand as an independent. There are rumours circulating that Hana is about to start her own party, and there was a confusion over who Oreni was standing for. Are the Māori electorates moving towards being iwi decided rather than party aligned? What are your thoughts on
that? I think that we, as a Māori party, are still young.
Yes.
I think we're still making mistakes. I do believe that we have issues within the party that have not been well worked through.
Yep.
I think there are issues in the leadership. I think there's issues about people at the ground level being able to participate. That's why I've been really enthusiastic about what we've done with the Tai Tokerau electorate and putting it out there and just seeing how much support there really is.
Yeah.
They want it. They want it desperately.
Yeah.
But our job is to focus on what it is that we're doing, hearing what they're saying, talking about, you know, the cost of living and housing,
yes,
access to decent health,
yes,
you know, education and opportunities and job, and climate change, the environment, and of course at the bottom, and I say at the bottom because every Māori believes it, doesn't matter what party they're in, is the treaty. You might know what bloody Shane's saying, what Winston's saying, what Seymour's saying. You know, at the bottom of it all is the belief that those treaty rights are inherently good for every Māori, and by so being, they are also good for the whole of our society.
So
those are the issues which are important.
If the right win, it's likely to have Winston as Prime Minister for 12 months. What happens to Māori aspiration if National, ACT and New Zealand First do get back into power and we've got Winston as Prime Minister?
Yeah. So, and I already see him lining himself up to take shots at National so that he can build his base off National and separation from ACT and all the rest of it. Now, I just say to everybody, list all of the things that he said over the last couple of years. List all of the things that he's done over the last... God, he's traveling overseas telling us we're not even bloody Indigenous. You know, he's an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment to Māori because he himself and Sebo, they can't speak Māori. So they have to go out of their way to try and downgrade the status of Māori because they can't themselves lift themselves to a level where they should be able to be positive contributors to Māori society. And so they trash it, they smash it, they slash it. And our job is to stop them in their tracks and say, one-term government, you bastards are gone.
Finally, Hone, what do the Greens, Te Pāti Māori and Labour need to be doing right now?
Really simple. Looking in the mirror and realising that, you listen to this, Chippy, Barbara, and asking yourself this question. Chippy, do you really think Winston is going to go with you and with the Greens? The answer is, you know what it's going to be. Yeah. Winston's going to play it off so he doesn't get 12 months. He gets 2 years as Prime Minister.
Right.
That's his plan.
Yeah.
The trick is to stop the bugger in his tracks now and say no. And then to realise that the ones who will back a return to those principles, those practices, are the Māori Party and, of course, our colleagues, the Greens.
Yeah.
Our brothers in this kaupapa, our brothers and sisters in this kaupapa, the Greens, and truly believing that is the one coalition that if we back it intelligently, and I'm saying strategically, Chippy, get your shit together, brother. Get out of the Māori seats, let the Māori Party hold those seats and lift the number of seats that we're going to have in the coalition government. Because if all we do at the end of the day is fight one another, all we're going to do is kill our ability to be that coalition government.
Preach.
And if you don't change that thinking, Chippy, you don't change it, you set yourself, you set the Green Party, you set the Māori Party for another 3 years of these pricks embedding the kind of legislation which is destroying our world.
Thank you, comrade, for sharing your insight and oversight this evening. We'll catch up shortly. Thank you, Hone.
See you, brother.